welcome to another episode of the program Improve Seeds, your first agricultural television, ARCN, Abuja, the capital city of Nigeria. I am Hilda Homsem Francois. We are also here today again with an extension expert. From our last episode, we promised that we're going to come back with an expert who is going to talk about cassava. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, I'll introduce Dr. Abidemi Modupe, who is an Ogun Agri-Development Programmer. She is going to tell us about cassava, the importance of cassava, the land preparation, what it entails, the best varieties. She's going to also enlighten us on the best soil, the best markets, the best way of storage, and the different techniques that needs us to consider in cultivation of cassava. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. back. Ma'am, you're welcome to the program.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon. How you doing?
I'm fine.
So how is Ogun State?
Ogun State is fine.
All right. So can we meet you?
We are the gateway city.
Aha.
The gateway state.
So can we meet you, ma'am?
Okay. I am Abidemi Modupe. I'm a staff of Ogun State Agricultural Development Program. I'm in the Technical Services sub-program, in the crop components of that sub-program. I'm a staff there from Ogun State Agricultural Development Program, Abeokuta.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we're going to talk about cassava. Can you summarize to us professionally the cultivation, the summary of cassava cultivation?
Cassava, people say cassava is a hardy crop. Yes, it's hardy compared to other crops like maize and vegetable. But as hardy as cassava is, if you don't cultivate it in the proper way, you will not get results as you ought to get. So for cassava to be cultivated, the first thing to do in any agricultural production is, especially for farmers who are business oriented, is to get market information. Know where you want to sell your market to by the time you produce. Then for the cultivation, starting with good agronomic practices, good agricultural practices of cassava, start from site selection. What qualities should we see, should we expect, or should we look for in a soil that is very, very good for cassava? The soil must not be waterlogged. That's number one, because if it is waterlogged, the cassava roots will be getting rotten. Number two, it must not be a soil that is too rocky, and it must be a humus soil, and it must not be a clayey soil. By the time we have too much clay to harvest, especially tending towards dry season, will not be too easy. And it should not be too sandy, but it will have equal proportion of sand and humus. And if you can get a soil that is rich in phosphorus and potassium, it's very, very good for cassava production. And the topography of any soil that will be used for cassava production, and generally for most crops, we do not encourage sloping. If you have a gentle slope and a fairly flat land, is okay for cassava production. Moving away from land selection, and in selecting your land, there's something you need to consider too before you buy your land or after buying it. Is land measurement. It's always good to measure the land. Why is land measurement very good? Because it helps you, number one, on the quantity of input you will put in, you will purchase. Number two, it also helps you to know the produce, the quantity of produce you will get from the land area. Okay. Then you will not just be paying for what is not given to you. There are different methods you can use in measuring your land. And in the peasant farmers in the villages, you know how we do it, the pacing, our legs, we do the pacing. It's graduated to using measuring tapes.
Sure.
But these days, technology has advanced. We have the GPS that you can use, and we have various applications on our Android phones that we can use for measurement of our land. Measurement of the land is very, very important to get the accurate size of the land, so you will not be wasting materials. We always tell our farmers these days that farming is business. And when you are doing business, you're taking everything to get a profit. Apart from that, After land measurement, you go to your varietal selection. To select the variety you want to use, the variety must be one that will meet the end user's need. What is the market? That's why I start from marketing. Where are you selling it to? You will know the end products that your consumers or that your buyers want to use it for. Maybe they want to use it to produce high quality cassava starch, cassava flour, or starch, or ethanol, or gari, or fufu, like we call it in Yoruba land, akpu. So there are varieties that has high starch content. There are varieties that has high dry matter content, and that will inform the type of variety that you will select to plant. Apart from that, it's always good to plant varieties that are tolerant to major pests and diseases. And the ones that are high yielding, they have been research from the work of researchers. Many varieties has been produced either by IITA, by Umodike, Root Crop Research Institute, IRT. All these research institutes that has the mandate to work on cassava in Nigeria have worked, and they have developed some varieties that meet most of these qualities.
Wow.
One of the varieties, let's say down south there, is the one we call TME 419, which has high starch content and all those ones.
Oh, that is the best one. That is
It's okay. That's one of the best, and it's okay.
okay. All right. So, what are some of the pests that affect the yielding of cassava?
Some of the pests we have, pests is anything that competes
Yes.
with the livelihood, with the healthy growth of the plant. So we have some of the pests. We have weeds, we have insect pests, we have disease pests, we have rodents. So for disease, we have cassava mosaic viral infection. We have those that are caused by bacteria. One of the most prevalent one is cassava by bacteria blights. We have anthracnose. We have other ones like that, and we have these other the ones that are caused by fungi also. We have wilts, cassava wilts. We have those ones that are caused by cercospora, the leaf spot, and all those ones. And we have insects like grasshopper, termites, spider mites, mite attack, and we have aphids, white flies. And most of these, like white fly for instance, transmit viral infection. So also aphids. And we have most of these insects that their feeding activities, through their feeding activities, they introduce diseases into the plant. We have nematodes, because nematode is a hidden enemy. Many people don't know that nematode also affects cassava, because its prevalence is much more common on vegetables and other stuffs. But these days, it affects cassava also.
So, what are the best chemicals or herbicides that you can use apart from the improved variety, of course? What are some of the the chemicals or herbicides used to prevent?
For various pesticides to use, weed is one of the pests also.
Yes.
Because we talk of herbicide now. Herbicide kills weed. Because we have various ones. We have insecticide for insects. We have fungicide for fungi. We have bactericide for bacteria. So herbicide kills weeds. So we have various ones. We have pre-plant herbicide. The ones that we can spray at the point of land preparation or before we plant, like glyphosate. I don't want to be mentioning trade names,
yes.
but the general, the active ingredient and the general name. We have glyphosate that that we can use. We have pre-emergence herbicide that are particular that we can use on cassava. We have something like Primestra, which is metolachlor plus atrazine. We have atrazine. We have Lagan. That's the trade name. I've forgotten the active ingredients.
All right. So with this now, what is the period for cultivation? That is from the planting to the harvesting.
Okay, that's the maturity period, the gestation period. For cassava is from, many people will say 6 months, no, though it may be ready then, but the appropriate one is from 9 months to 18 months.
Okay. All right, and then for the marketing, for the harvesting, how do we harvest cassava? And then how do you store it against being rotten? Because I know a lot of people are scared of cultivating it in large quantity if they do not have the market value for it or the added value chain for it. So how do you preserve your harvested cassava?
For the harvested cassava, one thing is that before you harvest your cassava, I always go back to the points. Have markets. Harvest when the need arises or when you have the market to sell it. Cassava, deteriorates very, very fast.
Okay.
Very, very fast. Between 3 to 4 days after harvest, it has deteriorated. Though there are different methods of storage, but the distant or small-scale farmers may not be able to afford it. We have cold storage or freezing. We have storing in polythene for the roots.
Okay, for the roots.
For the root, we can store. The roots cannot store long. The most important thing is to add value to it.
Okay.
To add value to it when it's been. But we can make it into chips and store. We can add value to it, turn it to gari, to lafu, to I call it cassava flour. But to store the tuber, we can do the cold storage. We can dip it in water, then put it in a cool place. But that one, all those ones cannot last in about a week, except the freezing or the cold storage. And there are some things that will be done before it can be stored like that. But the best thing is to add value to it.
All right, so
or process it.
or process it, which is the best.
Yes.
All right.
The stem, for the stem now, the stem can be stored for some time. There are various methods. You can store it in polythene. You can open up the heart, dig like a ditch and cover it. But the best and the easy, affordable, easy method that farmers, especially down south, that do employ, is to tie it and stack it upright with the node facing up. Then with that, we will put it under a shade, under a tree. You can get a straw or dry grasses to cover the stems. Then you'll be watering the soil when anytime it's dry. With that, you can store the stems.
Is for planting.
Yes, for about 2 months or more.
Now, at the gender, now let's go back to the gender aspect. In the cultivation of cassava, do we involve everybody on the farm, or there are some things that are being left for the female and some things left for the male?
At the traditional level,
yes,
there are some activities that the female does, like processing. They do it more. But I think we should start incorporating and including everybody.
okay.
Like down there in the south, in Ogun State or your state, where we produce cassava, the processing is always handled mostly by women,
Okay.
while the harvesting and other production activities except planting, why some women, they go to farms to help them in planting and they get paid. But majorly, women are involved with the processing. But these days, men too can go into it. Yeah, we can encourage them. Then the harvesting that men are doing majorly, there are areas that women can come in. When the men, they uproot it because of the tediousness or the energy that will be needed. Women can come in to support them after it's been cut, gather it, put it into the sacks or the baskets, help in the loading of the vehicle.
Yeah. Now, we're talking about the market now. We've been talking about market, How do you control the price? That is, how do farmers control the prices of cassava in the market? And then how do you also curtail this middleman involvement in, between the farmer and the market?
I think this is a big challenge in agricultural production, but it's something that is surmountable. We can overcome it. Number one, the farmers, before production, I said, I'm repeating marketing.
Yes.
They can get the off-takers. And this will be easy if our farmers can come together as a cluster or form a group. They are in group, maybe Cassava Growers Association of that community, and they are together. They can aggregate their things themselves. They can get the off-takers, maybe these industries or people that will still. Then they will sign an MOU with the off-taker. Then the price will be fixed. There will be the memorandum of understanding. So each party is bound by the legal something. So there will not be any cheating in that case.
All right.
Or our farmers themselves, they can take it to the industry by themselves. Because these middlemen, they are the ones that are really getting most of the profits. The farmer is getting less. So our farmers can move out. But for them to overcome this, they have to. My own advice is that they be in groups. When you are single, you will not be able to fight a battle more. But when you are together, you will have a voice.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am. So what summary or advice now can you give our viewers out there, someone who wish to go into cassava cultivation?
These days, I call cassava a cash crop because there is virtually what you cannot use it for. It has many uses. You can make fuel from it. You can make confectionaries. When you make cassava flour, confectionaries can be made. So many things, that uses of cassava. So I will encourage our farmers to go more into cassava production. Though Nigeria is one of the highest producers of cassava, but we are not yet there. Then we should explore opportunity of preventing post-harvest losses. Our researchers should do more work in that area for us. So more farmers should go. Cassava is a very good, cassava cultivation or farming is a very good and a very lucrative business that farmers can go into.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for being part of the program.
Thank you.
This is still Improved Seeds on your agricultural television in the capital city of Abuja, Nigeria. I am Hilda Homself Francois. I'll be talking to Dr. Abidemi Modupe, who is an expert, an agro-development program from Ogun State, and she has told us how lucrative cassava can be, and she's urging everyone to go into it. If you enjoyed this episode, keep a date with us again next week, because we're going to wrap up from here. From everybody is take good care of yourself and keep watching ARCN Television, Abuja. Take care. Thank you.